What's up? My name is Casey Budge. This is the off-season podcast, and today we're just doing a little chatting. Old Bailey and I are just gonna talk a little bit about what we've been up to, what's been going on in our lives, and go from there.
Yippers.
So, what have you been up to, Bailiwick?
Bailiwick. Funny story behind the name Bailiwick. My boss calls me Bailiwick. It's been a nickname that's stuck for however long I've been here, 4 years. It was on like one of their kids' TV shows when I first got here because they were really young. And ever since, it's just been my nickname. I think it means like something you're really fond of or something you really like or something. I don't really know. Like Bailiwick is an actual thing, but my name is Bailey, and then they just add the wick. And yeah. But haven't been up to a whole lot other than work. We've been showing a lot, trying to make some headway in show earnings for my boss and stuff. So, yep.
And the horse that you've been showing has been racking up those earnings too.
Yeah, I've got he's a 5-year-old hottish gelding that we call Hot Dog. His name is Hot Dogs, and I showed him at my first NCHA show 3 weeks ago, or 2 weeks, maybe 2 weeks ago. Hasn't been that long.
Yeah, it hasn't been super long.
So maybe just 2 weeks ago, in Graham, and we just made a couple little mistakes that were completely on my part that are fixable, so that was good. But he showed really good, and then I just showed him at a little ranch cutting here where we live, and we ended up winning that, so that was really cool.
Not only did Bailey win, Bailey absolutely waffle stomped her competition. Like, it wasn't even close. She should have marked like a 75 and a half.
I don't think it was that crazy.
It was that crazy. She had two just absolutely incredible cuts where her cows were just standing out in the middle of the pen by themselves, and she was just standing there, and all the other cows just melted out away from her, and she was just kicking everybody's booty. There was, are your feet still sore from kicking everybody's booty like that, or?
He's over exaggerating quite a bit. But
I think
it
I'm
was
under
still really
exaggerating
fun.
quite a bit.
I had a blast, that's for sure. I think it was the first one that I really felt like we clicked and got him rode really well. So.
Well, and the other thing about it is that you've like trained Hot Dog. Like Hot Dog isn't just like someone else's horse that you trained in your show, and now like you've trained Hot Dog from the very beginning.
I have. He's been my guy. We started him really late, his 2-year-old year, just because I think he had a hock injury or something when he was a baby, so he just got started, along with another couple horses that we had a little bit later that year. That I think one had a surgery. He's now our turnback horse, and then one of them was gelding that we got from a sale barn that we ended up selling again once we got him broke. But I started him for my boss because he started him a little bit with me, but then it was kind of my project because we were going to make him into a ranch horse because he was so far behind. And then whatever I was learning from my boss, I'd go out and ride that gelding again at night and kind of use him as just to teach myself what I had tried to learn visually that day. And then I'd do, use those techniques on this horse. Then pretty soon he started to come up pretty quick, and now he's part of our show string, so.
And he's incredibly well broke. He is very nice. He cuts a cow like no one. He's very talented too. But her boss tells her all the time that man, this horse is so broke, and that's like something to be incredibly proud of. And I'm incredibly proud of you for that.
Oh, thank you. I'm pretty proud of him too. That's our basis for our 3-year-olds right now, is get him Hot Dog broke, because he is broke. He's kind of goofy, and he does some goofy things, but he's pretty well broke.
Well, yeah, driving a Lamborghini around is a little bit different than driving old Betty around.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Hot Dog's a Lamborghini, and My truck is a Dodge half-ton, and she's Betty.
She is Betty. She's a good old gal.
She is Betty.
Yeah. Also, R.I.P. Tina.
Oh yeah, Casey's truck's named Tina, but
Was
she's
named
dead.
Tina. She gone.
She died.
She gone. Yeah. Oh man, R.I.P. Tina. Wear your seatbelts, kids.
Very important. Wear your seatbelts.
Yep. So what else have we been up to? We've watched a couple of Packers games since we last did an episode, and the Packers have been kicking booty even after our quarterback, old Jordan Love, got hurt. Malik Willis has been kicking absolute booty. And our defense has been crazy. Do you have anything to say about the Packers, Bailey?
Casey likes to watch the Packers. I love to eat French fries.
It's a perfect combination, really. I mean, there's just nothing better out there. Girl who likes to go eat the bar food and a bar where you can watch football. It's perfect.
It's my favorite part of the day is the French fries. And Casey's like, he'll like talk to me about football. He's like, oh, like this player, he used to play for this team and he's doing really good. Here's his stats. He's got all this stuff memorized. And I'm like, man, I think I'm gonna get some hot wings. Still hungry. Are you hungry? I'm thinking pie, maybe. My mind. I told my boss that the only two things I think about are horses and food. And I mean, I think of Casey now too. I guess. Once
sure.
in a while.
Okay. All right. But LaFleur is doing really good. Their head coach is kind of kicking everybody's booty right now. He's game planning it up, just smoking everybody with the run game. I think we have like we're leading the league in rushing yards or something like that. Crazy, which hasn't been the Packers' identity lately. But it's cool that we're kicking everybody's booty. It's a fun deal to watch. And my guy. Josh Allen is doing good. The lack of doing well has come at the college level this year, where our Wyoming
Pokes.
Yeah, the Pokes, the Wyoming Cowboys suck. They suck so badly.
They're real bad. We don't even want to look anymore.
Yeah, it's scary whenever we watch the games or we look at the scores. We lost to North Texas. Like, how do you lose to North Texas?
I don't know. I don't know how good any of the other teams are. I just know I like the Pokes, and this year they suck. So I don't know, guys. Do better. Yeah, you let me down, man.
Seriously, our first-year head coach is not pulling his weight. I'll tell you what. Yeah, that's not good. We're gonna get absolutely blown out by a couple of people later in the season. Like there's one game that we might win, and that's the CSU game because it sucks to be a CSU Ram. I said it sucks to be a CSU Ram. Unless you want to accept me to your vet school, in which case that would be awesome, and it would totally rock to be a CSU Ram.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah, you might not want to speak too soon. Until then, though.
Until then, it sucks to be a CSU Ram.
Yeah.
My dog will be very mad at me when if I end up going to CSU because I have a trick with her where I ask her if she would rather be a dead dog or a CSU Ram, and she lays over and plays dead, and it's excellent.
Oh, Stacy.
Stacy.
Dog.
Not really. She's an okay dog, but she
knows where her morals lie.
Yeah, she has a little Pokes jersey. She has a little Josh Allen jersey. It's excellent.
It's pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah. Let's see. We went and saw Dylan Gossett in concert. That was super fun.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that?
So I was looking on. I don't know if you guys get like weird Facebook ads, but I get them. I bought Red Clay Strays tickets in like January or something like that. So now I get all these StubHub whatever advertisements, and Dylan Gossett was on there, and he's an artist that we really like, and so I saw that he was playing at Tannehill's.
Yeah, Tannehill's.
In the Stockyards here in Fort Worth, and I just think it's a better venue than Billy Bob's.
Way better.
We'd never been there, but like it's just a little bit more personable. It's a little bit smaller, and like you can actually see the stage, even if you get general admission passes. And they were pretty cheap tickets, so I bought them as a surprise for Casey, and then I kept it as a surprise for 2.5 minutes. And then I told him that I bought him the tickets.
It was maybe 3 minutes.
Maybe, yeah. Because I sent it to him. I was like, oh, look at this. And he's like, oh, let's go. I was like, all right, I already bought tickets.
her exact words, well, you're lucky you're dating a cool girl because I got you tickets already.
Yeah. I had to play it off a little bit because I was, I mean, they were cheap enough that it was like, you're not really going to find a better deal, and that guy's so up and coming still. I'm like, who knows, in a year or two, we might not even be able to get tickets to him.
Yeah, he's going to blow up for sure. I mean, all the songs that he has out already are so good, and, like, everything that he puts out seems like it's better than the last song. Like, he's got that Treebird song that he played coming out, in a couple weeks, and that song is so good.
Or like if you guys have seen the movie Twisters, he's got a song on there too.
Yeah, on the concept album, which I don't know if we talked about this before. We're back on the Twisters thing again because his song was the only good song off the EP, and I don't know if I talked about this before, but they didn't put Turnpike into the Twisters concept album, even though they're an Oklahoma band that has a song about tornadoes.
Casey was really, really, really wound up about the music. I was just wound up at the fact that we were sitting in a movie theater while there's also a movie theater on screen being torn apart by a tornado.
Yeah.
That was all I was concerned about.
Also, Glenn Powell's character's just but we're not getting into that again. We've already had a whole episode talking about how annoying that movie is. We're not doing it again.
Okay, we're done.
We're done. We'll check that off. Have we even seen any movies since we saw Twister?
Deadpool.
Oh yeah, Deadpool was really good.
Deadpool was funny.
Yeah, Deadpool was really funny.
But I mean, when is there like a Ryan Reynolds movie that's not really good? So.
I don't know. Or I mean, does Hugh Jackman wear a hat in that movie? I can't remember.
I can't tell you what Hugh Jackman wears. I know he's shirtless.
He definitely does not wear a shirt in part of it. So that is definitely a thing. I can't remember if he wears a hat in it. Maybe at one point like they're doing like a bit about.
You're worried about who wears a hat, and Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds are in it, and Hugh Jackman doesn't have a shirt on?
Well, yeah, because there's this thing about movies where Hugh Jackman wears a hat and how good the movie is.
He wears a mask.
Yeah, he wears a mask. I guess his little cape thing is like a hat that he has on his Wolverine costume.
I don't think anybody cares if he's wearing a hat.
Well, I care about him. I care about whether he's wearing a hat. Because because there's this whole meme about like in Les Mis and in The Greatest Showman and others where he wears a hat, and those are all great movies, and so it's kind of like the measuring stick for a great movie is whether Hugh Jackman wears a hat.
I don't know if he wears a hat. Maybe one of his many personas when he like. He has to like travel. Ryan Reynolds has to like travel through weird. I don't know what the weird time things are, but he has to travel and go find the right Hugh Jackman that's not dead to like help him defeat a villain.
Yeah, he probably does. In one of those, he probably wears a hat.
Yeah,
right.
One of them's like a midget. One of them's just a drop dead drunk. Like one of them is already dead, and he fights off a whole bunch of villains with his bones.
Yeah, that part is really funny, and he does that to Bye 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 by the is it Backstreet Boys? No, is it? Or I think it's NSYNC actually.
I don't know. I feel like I should know that.
But it ain't no lie. Bye bye bye. And if you can do that without doing the bye 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 hand motion, then I don't know if we can be friends, honestly.
It is by NSYNC.
It is by NSYNC. Okay, yeah. There we go. My 2000s, or I guess they're probably like a 90s boy band.
I think 90s.
Yeah. I'm just a One Direction basic white boy.
He is a basic white boy. If any of you know Casey, he is.
So we were talking about what day of the week we were born on today at work.
Okay.
And we were. I was born on Thursday. Like
I'm pretty sure I was born on a Thursday too. Actually.
Yeah. Wow. Soulmate deal right there.
Yep.
Uh,
Thursdays suck.
Thursdays do suck.
I don't like Thursdays.
Oh, why would you be born on a Thursday? Except I do play D&D on Thursdays. That's the only highlight to my week is that. Can we play the? Can we tell the? Can I tell the D&D story?
Yes.
Okay, so I was talking to Bailey for like one of the first times about playing D&D, and I was trying to explain it to her.
Because I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Even still.
And there's a new cool way that I learned that I'm going to use whenever I explain D&D to people is just like literally play D&D with them. But the way that I was trying to explain it to her is that, like, there are these classes that you can be, and there are different races that you can be, and.
So he said different races, and I was like, okay, so you can be like, and I promise you I'm not racist, but I was like, okay, so you can be like black or Asian, and he's like, no. I was like, well, why'd you say races? And then what were the actual races that you could be?
Like an elf or an orc or...
Yeah, so then I was like, oh, so you could be like a black ninja or a black wizard or an Asian ninja. And because then he's trying to explain to me that, like, you can be like, you can have smarts or you can have strength. And so I was like, you could be like a strong black ninja or you could be a really smart Asian wizard. And that was all said very loud in the middle of a Mexican restaurant, so I hope you know that's where that conversation happened.
Yeah.
It was much funnier at the time.
It was, honestly, it was hilarious. We giggled about it for an hour, 2 hours at the very least.
Yeah. It was because like I was being very truthful in the fact that that's what I thought he meant.
Hey, I mean, it's you're like not really far off, but you are actually that's pretty far off.
Well, he's trying to explain it, and I was like, okay, so what's the rule? Like, what are you trying to do? He's like, well, you could do anything. Yeah. And I was like, okay, so where is it at? He's like, it could be anywhere. I was like, okay. And like, you know, where's the set of rules? He's like, oh, you make the rules. I was like, what is this game? It sounds like it is. It sounds made up. It sounds like it shouldn't be a game because if somebody wrongs me, I'm going to be like, oh, no, new rule. You can't roll the dice like that. You have to roll them on the ground at my feet. And you know, like this is all set in Unicorn Land.
We're doing a new campaign in Unicorn Land, and you're playing.
Okay.
All right.
As long as I'm a black ninja.
All right, deal. So anyway, the concert at Tannehill's was excellent. The opener, which the sneak peek for the next episode, were the Cameron Saki band. They were so good. They all came out on stage wearing sunglasses, which we thought was hilarious.
It was pretty funny.
It was pretty funny. I got the chance to talk with Cameron earlier this week, but it'll be later this week that you guys will get to hear it. But it was super fun, and we got to see them play, and they were really good. They had a super fun like live show presence that was really cool. And then when the Dylan Gossett portion of the concert started, the banjo player came out there, and he had this sick banjo riff to open up, and it just like kept building and building and building.
See, but even before that, like when they were setting up, it's not it is acapella, but it's not acapella. When it's like multiple people and they were all singing different.
They had like a chorus kind of deal going on.
Yeah, and like it was, and then when the banjo player came out, it just made the whole thing very bluegrassy, which I love bluegrass. My grandpa loved bluegrass. I love bluegrass, and it was just like awesome.
It was sick. It was like such a fun way to open the concert up, and then from there he had like all of his songs are really fun to listen to. Like even his like sadder songs a little bit, like they're vibey and they're kind of up tempo, and they're just all fun songs. Like
they're all good songs.
I don't know if he's made a bad song yet.
I don't think so.
I really
like all of them.
Yeah.
And he's got some like he's got like some upbeat ones, and then he's got ones like I think our favorite, or at least my favorite, is like Beneath Oak Trees, which is the first song that Casey showed me, and it's like just so pretty, and it's just a nice song, you know.
It is such a. So he talked about it during the concert about how he wrote it for his wife, and it's like a beautiful love song. Like, it is so pretty. Most of my favorite songs are love songs like that because I'm just a sappy romantic dude. But
100%.
Yeah. But it's a good, like, it's a genuinely good song. It's well written, and it plays on the musical themes of itself, and the lyrics are really good as well. So
yeah, what he said.
Yeah. Also, shout out to the where did we go? Oh, the Shake Shack people, right next to Tan Hills. Shout out, because we left like
we were assholes.
we were kind of assholes. So
we got there very late. We'll
Yeah.
just say that.
Yeah, we went in there right before they were closing, and we felt so bad. We were apologizing to the people in there like the whole time that we were in there, because we're like, I'm sorry, we're just really hungry. Because we went to Tan Hills, and we were planning on just eating when we got there, and then we kind of got inside and we're like, well, like,
there's nothing to eat here.
There's nothing to eat, which we did end up getting a slice of pizza a piece, and they were like really cheap. They were just like $5 a slice, which was pretty good for like bar food. I feel like
Yeah,
it's not good for regular food, but it's
and they were like big pieces.
They were
of
big.
pizza.
They were this like New York style kind of pizza.
Yeah.
There where it's sold by the slice, but which the bartenders there were awesome. Excellent service there, and the pizza was pretty good for being.
Pizza was, like, it was cold. I think it was like they served it way before the show.
Yeah.
And then they just had it in there, so like it was not like super hot and fresh and ready, but it was good, and it kind of hit the spot, because what our plan was is like we were gonna go eat in the Stockyards and then go to that. Well, we were kind of running behind, or
Yeah.
so we thought. So we were like, we'll just get in there and eat when we get in there, and then like when we got in Tannehill's, like there's a tavern there, so you're able to eat there. But I think it's like through a different door, because
Yeah.
as soon as we were in there, like we were pretty much ushered all the way through to the music part.
Yeah. So it was still fun. It was a great time, but it was just a little bit chaotic there. So when we got done, we were real hungry, and Shake Shack hit the spot. It was delicious.
Shake Shack is, if nobody's ever been to Shake Shack, you gotta go.
You have to go to Shake Shack. But like I said, big shout out to the Shake Shack people on in the Stockyards there, because they kicked booty.
Yeah, they were super cool. I think we got there like literally 3 minutes before they closed.
Yeah, they still served us, and we're super happy about it too.
Yeah, because we were like, oh, we're so sorry. Like, we didn't realize you guys closed, this early, because it was a Thursday night. It wasn't Friday or Saturday. And, the gal's like, hey, if I'm still in here, like, I'm still open. I'm not worried about it, So they were very cool and very accommodating, so that was nice.
Yeah. What else? We've kind of been on, like, a little fitness journey going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of went out the window with my car wreck deal last week, but we've been just trying to, like, me personally, I've just been trying to, like, meet my protein macros and do all that stuff, and be in like a little bit of a calorie deficit, and it's been interesting for sure. I don't get to eat all the foods that I like, but it's okay, because I can still eat lots of things that I enjoy. Like, I had a lot of food today, and like I don't know if a lot of people have done this, but like trying to hit your protein macro, like I try and eat like 200 grams of protein a day. And by the time that I eat 200 grams of protein, I don't want to eat anything else, like, at the end of the day. So I don't end up, like, eating any junk or anything like that. Like, that's kind of my strategy with doing it, is, like, I just try and eat my protein macros, and then it's just like, ugh, I'm so full.
I have also, like, I told him I'd do it with him, and I haven't done quite the same thing, but I have, like, eaten healthier. I went and did like a diet kind of like what I'm doing right now about a year ago or 2 years ago now, and so like like I get try to get zero sugar things, just because like that's fairly healthy, I think. So like I have zero sugar um, Dr Pepper that I really like because I love carbonated drinks. So like the sparkling ices and stuff is um, great, and then or are great. Sorry, I don't know grammar.
Grammar is hard.
Grammar is hard, and like the zero sugar Dr Peppers, and then I have like this like yogurt and stuff that's zero sugar. It's pretty decent. And then for like lunches, I do a lot of like turkey and ham wraps. So I'll do like one of the weird carb balanced tortillas. They don't taste any different than regular tortillas. I don't mind them. And then I'll put like ham or turkey and some cheese and like mayo and pickles and banana peppers or whatever. Like I eat a lot of pickled stuff too.
Yeah, Bailey likes pickles.
I love like pickles and banana peppers and like pickled asparagus. I got that from a farmer's market the other day. It was super yummy.
Mm-hmm.
Super yummy. Casey does not.
I do not like pickles, which it's the Olive Theory from How I Met Your Mother.
He's all about all How I Met Your Mother stuff.
It's a great show, except for the last episode. The last episode sucks.
Well, we haven't got there, so.
Well, it's
shush.
It's so bad.
Okay, then we won't watch it.
Okay, we'll just stop at the second to last episode.
Okay, fine.
So I saw this thing about it, and
you were so ADHD.
I know, but so there's this lingering mystery that never got solved on How I Met Your Mother, and I can't talk about it like that, like in reality, because like you know the setup of it is where did the pineapple come from when Ted gets like blackout drunk?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and like he's always wondering like where the pineapple came from, and it finally got canonized and solved in How I Met Your Father, but I haven't watched How I Met Your Father yet. I've heard that it wasn't that good, so I haven't watched it yet, and I'm kind of dreading watching it because I don't want it to be bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Also, my friend just sent me an unsolicited wiener pic, with little wiener dogs.
Oh, okay, a wiener dog. I was a little. Oh, how cute! I was very concerned for a minute.
Yeah. My friend Haley just sent me pictures of little baby wiener dogs, and they're adorable.
We have lots of wiener dogs running around.
Yeah, there's an infestation of scraggly little wiener dogs running around.
I think we have 2 actual wiener dogs, and then we have 2 from like they were like accident puppies, which we don't have any dogs that are like all of our dogs are fixed. And we have the 2 wiener dogs that we got most recently that aren't fixed yet because we just haven't made an appointment for them. But, like, it's on the agenda, and then somebody must have a stud dog within a 2-mile radius around us or something. And our dog probably, like, all our dogs except for, like, mine and one of my boss's dogs are outside dogs. So, or 2 of theirs, I guess. And so, like, she was probably just outside and wandered away one night, and she had a litter of accident puppies. And for accident puppies, they are the cutest things I've ever seen.
They're just little balls of fluff, and
they're little balls of fluff, except for when you get them wet, and then they look like wiener dogs, but they're like very, very fluffy, and
they've got like schnauzery kind of hair going on.
Yeah,
like...
well, so they look like one of my boss's dogs actually, which is so funny because he's the same way, except this dog does not have the parts. I promise you, because he sure tries on all of our other dogs.
Sure they didn't miss one?
I'm sure. If they missed one, we'd know. Because he lives with a female dog over there, and, like, all the time. That dog is constantly just trying.
Just going after it.
Just going after it.
Listen, you can't blame a boy for trying.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that dog, I don't think that dog is the dad, but they do look a lot like him.
I don't know, you never know. Never know. Old Herbert.
I am like 99.9999% sure. Not Herbert.
Not Herbert. Well, dang. Well, what else? Do you have anything else you want to talk about this week?
think so. I think that's kind of all we've been up to lately.
Yeah.
Like, did you tell them about your car? You said you crashed your truck.
Yeah, I crashed my truck.
He's okay.
Yeah, I'm alright.
He was wearing his seatbelt.
Yeah, wear your seatbelt, kids.
He was just like a little banged up, but as a result, he has taken over Betty for a week.
For a little bit. I am flying up to meet my parents and go watch my sister's show next week, and that's super exciting. Also, shout out, if you don't listen to the Fake Crime Podcast with me and my sister, go listen to it because it's excellent. We do true crime podcast, but like the criminals in our true crime podcast are like movie and book villains, and it's hilarious. The last episode that we did was on the bowler hat guy from Meet the Robinsons. Goob. Mike Goobian. What an excellent name.
Yes, they and before that they talked about Voldemort
for forever.
For like 25 million hours.
Yeah, turns out I like Harry Potter. I know that's shocking. I know.
Every time we go in the house, he's like, "Can we watch How I Met Your Mother or Harry Potter?"
Well,
I'm like, neither. Can I please watch something else?
You know what? I'm a simple man. I don't need much.
Just Harry Potter and Voldemort?
Just some Voldemort. Just some no nostrils right into my nose. I'm gonna snort that no nostril man.
You just make it odd. That did not need to be said. That was weird. I don't know what you guys are thinking right now, but I'm thinking, man, this guy. Either he's weird or I need to go to bed because I just heard that wrong. I don't know.
Nope, you heard it right.
Okay.
It was just weird. But you know what? It's fine.
I call him weird all the time because he says things like that.
She just bullies me all the time.
Well, you guys just heard him.
She's so mean to me.
Yeah.
Super mean.
I'm so mean to you. So I bought Dylan Gossett
super mean.
Tickets.
She never does anything. She never does anything nice for me. She
gives you my truck.
She lets me drive her truck. She beats me up. She bullies me.
Beat you up. Whatever.
Yeah. Super abused.
Oh my goodness.
Have you seen that TikTok trend where it's like, he gets sunlight on the weekends, he's fine. You know what? You mind your own business.
No, because I don't watch TikTok like you do. I have like 300 and some unopened TikToks from between Casey and my best friend Amy.
Wow, I thought I was your best. I'm just kidding.
Okay, but Amy's a girl. And Amy's boyfriend Quentin. Yeah, I have like 500 unopened things because I'll get on there and I'll watch a video or two and then I realize how stupid it is and then I get off of it and I don't open anything because I'm like, this is enough of this nonsense today. And then I'll put my phone in my pocket and I won't check it for 3 hours and then pretty soon I look at it and Casey's texted me like 3 times. Like, it's like, oh, hope you have a good day. I'm like, oh yeah, you texted me this morning.
Yeah, it's alright.
It happens so often. I won't check it till like noon or 2 o'clock or something, and I'm like, oh yeah, good morning.
And the way that my work has been lately, we've just been so slow lately. So it's like that. If any of you say that I'm cursing fate for saying that work at a vet clinic has been slow, please bring on the nonsense, bring on the chaos, because it would be so much better than what's been going on. I have swept the floor so much. I'm so tired of it. It's so annoying. I'm ready for breeding season to be here again. I'm ready for it to be the on season because it has been painfully slow.
He likes breeding season. I do not.
Yeah. I just like my job at the breeding center so much more than I do working at the medical center, just because it's a different environment. And that's why I came down here. Like, that's part of it. And it's been really cool getting to work on all horse cases. Like, getting to do the lameness exams and stuff. I've learned so much, and that's been good. And now it's been a little bit better because one of my other bosses has been up at the clinic, and he uses me as kind of his main tech. So that's been really nice. That's been super nice to get to be in on more appointments, and like I've gotten to help on a couple surgeries and stuff and do that sort of thing. So it's been cool, and that part has been really fun. But when he's not up there, or when one of the other vets who lets me help isn't there, then it's a little bit frustrating, just because it's kind of trying to find stuff to do all the time right now.
I don't have that problem.
Yeah, must be nice.
It must be nice.
Yeah, I like being busy. Like the heat of breeding season, like April. Oh my goodness, give me an April day over yesterday.
Your April days are like my all the time. Not quite. I don't work quite as long of hours as you do in like middle of April.
Yeah.
But like I, for reference, I guess, is like I get one day off every 2 weeks, and then like I'm kind of on call 24/7. So like sometimes I'll be working till like, sometimes I'll work till like 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'll work till 9.
Yeah.
Sometimes I work till 3 a.m. It just kind of depends on what we're doing and what day of the week it is. But that's why Casey's schedule's kind of nice right now, because it's pretty dependable. Like he gets off at a decent time for the most part.
It's so slow though.
It's so slow, but like he gets off at a decent time. He gets 3 days off a week normally, and then like he has a couple weekends, or like one weekend every 3 weeks that he works. But it's like not that's not huge, and he'll get off at a decent time on weekends normally. So
yeah, I like being busy. I like having stuff to do. I do not like to try and have to find stuff to do, or to have to find stuff to deep clean. I like actually taking care of patients, and it's frustrating to find the stuff to do. Like I don't mind working. I mind having to find work to do.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
I don't think I've been bored the entire time I've been down here.
Yeah.
Which is 4 years. But to be fair, like, we do a lot more different stuff than you guys do. Like, you guys are very specialized in just the treatment of horses. We have our horses. We have some business in real estate. We have our yearlings that we're sales fitting right now. We've got colts that we break in the spring. We've got our breeding season and our foaling season. And, ranch maintenance. Like, we just have a lot more that we can do. So it's like, even when we don't have something that is of utmost importance right then, like, there's still so much to do. Like, I already have a big list for tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
And my boss isn't even here.
Yeah. And there's always stuff to do. It's just trying to find, like, what hasn't been done recently, or what hasn't been cleaned recently, or what's dirty. And then, like, doing that is frustrating when I'm used to, okay, we're just trying to get all of the stuff, all the horses bred for the day. Like, that's the kind of work that I enjoy, is during breeding season when we're going 1,000 miles an hour, and we check all the mares in the morning, and then we collect studs, and then we flush embryos out, and then we put in embryos into our receps or other people's receps, and we have aspirations at the afternoon, and we're just trying to get everything done before the next thing comes in. Like, that's the stuff that I like. I legitimately like those days where I'm exhausted and worn out, because it feels like I've had that full day of work, and I've never had to look for something to do, because I know exactly what I need to do next. Like, that's the stuff that I enjoy.
Yeah. I think your job is also, like, a little bit more like you kind of have to wait for your bosses to kind of tell you, like, this needs done, this needs done. Like, I think my job is, like, a lot more, like, self-motivated. Like, I do whatever I see needs done for the most part. Like, we have a few things that are, like, my boss will tell us, like, need done, but that only fills up part of the day, and then the rest of the day it's like, okay, you kind of, like, I kind of know what needs done. I need clean trailers out, or clean trucks out, or like, like today, like, I just did a lot of maintenance stuff and made sure horses got out and exercised, and like things like that, just to fill my day. But it's, like, none of that was on like a list or anything like that. It's just kind of do whatever you feel needs done.
Yeah. That is kind of the hard part, is also, like, even with the treatment of horses, it's still kind of just like figuring out, like, trying to anticipate what what my bosses are going to want to do as far as the treatment, and then have stuff set up and ready to go for that. And then if you have the wrong stuff set up, then it's like scrambling to get other stuff set up. And so that's like the hard part. I just can't wait to be a vet. I'm just so excited to be a vet. Cannot wait.
For those of you who don't know, Casey did apply to vet school, so we'll know what, like early next year.
Yeah, January-ish, I'll start finding out, and then, yeah, hopefully I'll know sooner rather than later, because it's a good sign. But you guys might not know until next year, basically, like when off season of next year, because by that time it'll be the on season of breeding season.
Like,
so
January, this podcast is over for
yeah,
a little while.
That's why it's called the off season podcast.
It's your off season. It is definitely not my off season, but I'm on.
Oh gosh, you guys aren't busy right now. You don't have 1,000 horses in the barn.
Yeah, we don't have every stall full right now.
You're not plumb busy all the time.
I don't have. Yeah, I literally I was in the house long enough to eat dinner. I'm like, well, I gotta go feed again, and close up barns because it's supposed to get just a little bit chilly tonight.
It's so nice.
It's really nice. It's perfect because it's like with our. So we sales fit a bunch of colts, and then we also have horses that we feed turkey on. And so, like, for kind of general knowledge, if you have horses that you need to keep hairless for these shows, which you do need to keep them hairless to go show in the wintertime, down here especially, for the show horses, it's important because, number one, it's like these buildings are pretty cool. And so, like, when you bring a horse in there that's really sweaty, it helps them to cool off. They don't have 1,000,000 pounds of hair, and it helps them not to get sick. And that way, when you take a horse out of that environment and go outside where it's really cold, you can throw a cooler on them, and it'll be pretty moisture wicking pretty quick. Whereas if they have mounds and mounds of hair, it's going to take them forever to dry off, and it's just hard on them. And then for our yearlings, like if you go in, you have two yearlings that are similar in breeding, which there is a lot of those at these big time sales, because a lot of the big time breeders are bringing in their yearlings. You've got two that are pretty similarly bred, similarly built, even one that might be a little bit better built. But if you're looking at them, you're gonna probably look at the one that sales fitted really nicely, which is hairless and clipped up and really pretty and nice and ready to go, whereas the one that looks like you just went and got it out of the pasture, no matter how nice of a horse it is, you're probably not going to be quite as tuned into that one as you would the other one. And so, like, we keep our horses in barns starting in middle of August, somewhere around there, and we get them all broke and x-rayed and consigned, and then once it drops below 63 degrees, our barns do a pretty good job from like 55 to 63 degrees at keeping them warm if I just close up barns early enough when it's like 70. And then below that, I have to start putting slinkies on, and then even farther below that, I have to put blankets on. So like this whole getting 58 at night and like mid 80s during the day is just perfect. It's beautiful.
It's so nice right now. Like it's the perfect temperature. I had to jog a bunch of horses today, and it was the perfect temperature. I wasn't too cold, like to where I was having to try and get on a sweater in the morning, but I wasn't dying of heat stroke while I was jogging horses today. It was perfect.
Yeah, it's so nice because it's like during the day you're not like you're just comfortable during the day. In the morning, like almost chilly enough, you got to put a sweater on, but not really.
Yeah. Did I tell you about how I have started singing the Scrub 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 song from Wonka when I'm scrubbing hawks?
Casey just sings whenever he wants. Like, he sings all the time.
Yeah.
Or he does this thing that's really annoying to me, is he'll be playing a game or he'll be watching TV, and he will turn music on at the same time. Who does that? Psychopaths do that. Like, I came in the other day from work, and he has, I think it's like his football game or something going, so that's loud. And then he has music playing. Loud. Like, Out loud, not in headphones or anything. Like, they're both just playing out loud.
Yeah, I like the noise. It's nice.
No, quiet is nice.
No,
when everything is nice and quiet, it's so nice.
No, the noise is the only way to be.
No. Why do you like noisiness?
This probably goes back to my childhood.
We are not getting into that conversation today. That is too much. Goes back to my childhood traumas.
I didn't say traumas. I just said my childhood.
I know, but that's how it sounded like. It's like, goes back to my childhood. Could either be childhood trauma or it could be like, oh, reminiscing. Either way, conversations for another day.
Yeah, probably another day. Or a whole other episode.
No.
No?
No. Sounds like a terrible episode, actually.
I don't know. Maybe it'd be fun.
Okay.
But yeah, I legitimately do. Like, I like to have music playing all the time. I like to be listening to music. I like to...
He'll, like, either have earphones in or he'll listen to music and TV at the same time. All the time.
I've always been like that, though. Like, even when I was a kid, I like to have... Even just something playing in the background is just nice, because it just gives my mind something else to work on while I'm doing something, so it lets me focus better on what I'm doing. Yeah. Anything else?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I think we kind of covered our entire lives in the past month.
Yeah. We'll do it again in another month or another week, probably. Yeah,
Casey will be healed up by then. We kind of surpassed you came out with a couple episodes. I got into a horse wreck about a month ago, I guess.
Yeah, about a month ago.
I'm all healed up from that, though, and then Casey's now healing up.
Yeah.
We take turns here.
We take turns being hurt, huh, Louie? Yeah.
Lewis, it's not your turn, man.
Lewis, it's not your turn. It's never your turn. Or Stacy. Yeah.
The dogs don't get turns.
No, sorry, doggos. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. This has been the Off-Season Podcast. Go follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it.
You post us to a lot of things.
I do. I post it all over. If you like this podcast, then your podcasting friends will probably like it too, so tell them about it. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe. If you're listening anywhere else, be sure to follow us and give us a rating and comment and do all the things because it helps other people find this podcast. Thank you so much for listening.
Sayonara, suckers.
Bye, Felicia.